Hello, everyone. Good morning. Trying to figure out my life right now. That looks pretty close. I'm trying to get my skin tone to be less green. It's so hard. Ah! But hi Pocket Sized Bard, how are ya? We're here. We're doing the thing to the best of our ability. I've missed this. I know it's only been like 2 weeks, but crazy busy. Yeah, I can imagine. I did Q to Q yesterday. So got that like check in the done category, which makes me feel good. Um Definitely have to do a little bit of work to finish the show, but we're at a really good spot otherwise, so I'm feeling good about that. Um and just grieving a bit. No other way to really describe that. I've been trying to figure that out. Also, there it goes. Okay. That light wouldn't turn cyan for some reason. It was just like, nah, I'm gonna stay green. But yeah, the few last week has been really hard. So I wanted to do something very similar to what I did like this week, is that I wanted to thank you for the hearts, Eric. I wanted to get on I wanted to do things that I enjoy. I wanted to do things that I know ultimately are going to make me feel like the world isn't crazy. And this is a way to do that, is to stream and is to um talk through stuff and figure stuff out. Yeah, so I'm hoping to hang out with you all a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about where things are headed, because I think that's important. Um I also just realized that I need to I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just remembered that we have the Channy treat pile command, and I think we're going to have to retire that. For those watching that didn't know, um my cat Chandler, who my you know like whole community is named after, the Chan fam. um and the SMP that I run, a lot of my emotes, a lot of everything. um she crossed over the rainbow bridge on Monday. It was a really hard weekend of trying our best to help her and see what we could do in any capacity to make sure that she was maybe going to get better, just for us to figure out that that wasn't going to happen. So it's been really, really hard. And I think the only comfort that I've gotten this week, aside from being able to occupy my mind at work and various projects, is that she was able to come home on Wednesday. She is currently uh, in her little box uh, on the piano in the living room with a clay paw print and a little ink print of her nose. Um, I am still processing everything as best as I can. It's really, really hard at night. It's really, really difficult at night. I'm also going to switch to this because I feel like this is more of an up close conversation. Oh, great. Now you can see that I'm upset. Um, so yeah, it's been tough to say the least. My hair to cooperate, but I'm figuring it out. I'm dealing with it day by day. Pumpkin is doing the same thing. Um, as much as it's been hard on me, um, it's the only pet that she's really had that she would kind of consider to be her own and like hers. And she was Chandler's mom, that kind of attitude. Um, but it's just been really, really difficult to push forward with everything. Um, there's been a lot of hard moments where I realize my life is going to be different now. That there's a whole chunk of my daily routine and there's a whole chunk of my comfort when I come home that is no longer there. Um, it's been, yeah, hard. That's the way I'll describe it. Um, Coffee break. Also, I think I need to do one of these, right? Just because the chat's going to be here and I don't want it to be all over my face. But, um, but yeah, so life's been hard, but I don't want that to be my whole attitude. Like, I don't want to go into these streams sad. I don't want to go into life doing this. So I wanted to do something up front and first. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Okay. I got to fix that.
Pocket Sizzabird says.
Oh, it worked that time. Also, I love that the automatic voice calls you Pocket Sizzbird. Not pocket sized bard, but Pocket Sizzbird. Just brings joy to my face. But thank you for resubbing. With Prime, you only get one of those. And you picked me. I'm so awesome. Thank you. But yes, I wanted to do something up front. I wanted to do something first. So that way we can just go forward and we can try to do things as normally as we used to. Try to do things in a way that feels productive and not Dustin sad again. So, yeah. But to give people a little bit of context about what happened, over the last couple months, Chandler was not feeling great. She wasn't really able to jump up on things like she used to. Um, she was very, very loud, and like screamy with her meowing. Um, so about 2 months ago, when she went in for her checkup, and just to get like some shots, I was just like, hey, so this has been happening, is there any tests or stuff that you can do? And they're like, yeah, sure. So ran some tests, just basic ones. We're just like, we haven't found anything. Let us know in a month, uh or or earlier if something gets worse. And about a month I checked back in, and we did a bigger test, and like a blood test and all that other stuff. And they said, hey, so it's a little bit of enzyme stuff, but nothing to be too worried about. But it really feels like it's something to do with her stomach or her bowel, like intestines, something like that. But we're not sure. So keep track for the next week or so. If her weight goes down, book another appointment for the full blood test, or just go to the emergency. Um, About a week and a half later, she got significantly worse. This was last Friday. Um, and I took her to the emergency room, and they did more tests, full tests, and they were able to find out that with everything going on, they believed it was inflammatory bowel disease or lymphoma. They weren't sure which unless they got x-rays and did ultrasounds and stuff, but they said the treatment for it is the same. uh so they sent me home with all the kitty drugs. They sent me home with instructions on what life was going to be like, at least for the next week or so. So I hunkered down last weekend, uh very much with the attitude of, we're going to figure this out, we're going to get through it. And that it was really difficult. I was able to reach out to quite a few people, and it got some amazing help from the standpoint of just emotional support, some food support, because I was so focused on her, I wasn't really eating much. So some people came over and brought me some French fries and some Vernors, because my stomach was also not feeling great for different reasons. Um, Helped me with the best ways to get her to take her medicine and to eat and do the stuff that she needed to, and just gave me some hope, because it felt very hopeless what I was trying to do, um, because she wasn't really getting better. Sunday last week, um, Sunday was a good day. She was up and out of her crate. She was eating on her own relatively. She was seeming to feel like she was a little bit on a mend, but still pretty weak and still showing a lot of the signs. Honestly, it was like her 2 or 3 weeks prior. I was just like, okay, so what we're doing is working. Um, she needed some meds at like 5 in the morning. So I woke up and did that. And then I noticed that she didn't want to sleep in her crate and away from me. After that, she wanted to be right up next to me, and she got right here. I actually have a photo of that. Um, I can pull it up. Hold on. That's really big. Boop. So this is of her and me Monday morning. Um, she crawled up right here and started purring like crazy. And I was very comforted. It was like, okay, yeah, I know it's early. Let's like try to get back to sleep. And then she kind of got up with a little bit of a start. I was just like, oh, maybe she has to use the restroom or something like that. And she tumbled, uh, getting off the couch. And I kind of sat up, and then she got under the couch and she started um, screaming. And then she went silent. So I got really worried. So I got under the couch and I saw her, and she was like panting and very uncomfortable. And that's when I realized that we had to go back to the emergency room. And I didn't grab her carrier or anything. I just grabbed all of her meds. I grabbed my phone and wallet and keys and got out the door. Um, we drove all the way to the emergency room, which is about 15 or so minutes away. They took her into the back. At that point, Kayla showed up. And then they let me know the situation and what the next hour or so was going to be for her and then for us. And I signed the paperwork, and I was able to hold her paw when it happened. And she's gone. But she is back now. I do have her back. Let's pull that photo up because that one's nicer. Oh, this one's all cropped and gross. Hold on. Quick and dirty OBS things with Dustin. I hope we're excited. um so yeah, this is her. It won't be like this forever. Pumpkin is going to be taking back the piano to her place at some point, so I'll have to find another place, but I'm also going to get her a nicer box because this box is good. Like it's got a nice finish on it. It's uh poly sealed. It's really really nice. But I want to get her something a little bit more fitting for such a queen. But in all reality, I just I want something that I can put out and it can become a part of the house like she was. Because right now it's very much a generic box, and I just want something a bit better for her. So, um, but yeah, so uh luckily, I wasn't feeling too great on Monday, so I took the day off because I wasn't really sleeping or eating myself. So I was able to be there with her when it happened, and it wasn't me leaving for work and then coming home. That I'm very grateful that I took that time. Um, but yeah. So I've spent the last week or so getting back into work, um, feeling, um, I would say it's a false sense of normal, let's be honest, because I know how I really feel, and what I really feel is terrible. But I think it's important for me and anybody who is connected to her. I think it's important for us to realize that um she may be gone, but the way she made us feel isn't, and that I know how important she was to a lot of people, and that if I keep sitting in the shoulda, couldas, and wouldas, um, all I'm doing is making myself feel worse, and that's not good for anyone. Um, so I think it's more important for me to push forward and feel comfortable with the fact that she had such an impact on me that it hurts so bad, and that everything that she did for me, she did with her whole heart, and that I'm very grateful for her. I know a lot of us are, but we have to carry on and we have to move forward. It's important. I want to do something sometime um, to offset the cost of everything, because it was a very expensive medical and dietary regimen to do what we did. Even in case anybody didn't know, it's very expensive to put your animal down. Oh, terrible timing, Chanbot. That's not what I mean by support. Damn it. But but yes, so I don't know if it'll be a GoFundMe. I don't know if it's going to be a an individual, like, hey, help me offset cost of this, let me offset cost of that. I don't know, but a couple $1,000s went into trying to save her and ultimately helping her move on. So if there's any way that I can be helped out, I'm gonna try, because I also feel, and I think especially Pocket Size Bard and Eric, I never like raising money for me. I love raising money for others. I love supporting others. I love, behind the scenes charity and doing all this stuff, but I never like asking for money. I never like asking for subscriptions or bits or any of this other stuff that like benefits me. But it's been hard, really hard, and I'm not sure that I can comfortably navigate the debt that I'm currently in now without help. So I will figure that out. I will let people know how they can help if they can. And we're going to make it happen and figure it out. Um, on a complete side note, like I mentioned, we started Tech Week Q2Q yesterday. It went really, really well. Um, Pretty much every new piece of technology that we've added into our system was utilized yesterday. Like our brand new TV monitor systems in backstage so people could watch the show. We implemented a mixer for monitors of the band, so that way they didn't have to um, ask for a different mix. They could legitimately just fix it on their own. Um, we implemented the Ghost of Ryan camera. Ryan's the music director. So that way we could have pit camera, not just uh, in the booths like we had previously, but also on the back wall of the theater. So that way the actors could just look out into the house and he would give them their cues. Lighting was fully networked, which it has been in the past, but it was really nice that that worked. And we also set up a system. Speaking of the mixer in the pit, um, we got them set up with their own personal Wi-Fi router, so that way everybody in the pit could control their own mix. So not only did we give them the ability to control the mix in general with a mixer down there, they also were able to use, let me pull up the um they were able to use this app, Monitor Mix by Yamaha. Yep. Yeah, of course, pocket-sized board, you know what it is. um Hey, if we're being honest, and I've said this before and I'm going to say it again to every single one of you who have graduated, you're taking the awesome with you, and we're trying our best to implement the awesome that you inspired us to do after you leave. Um, yeah, Godspell is also using a whole pool on stage. I saw the promo video on TikTok. What the hell? Like, is that like a? It's huge. It may be much bigger than I'm thinking because of that camera shot, but no, it's very true, Eric. Um the attitude of you all came into the school, uh and the exchange was like the handshake was, we're going to train you to be good at this. Not great, not an expert, but good at this. With enough tools in your toolbox to go out into the world and get jobs, to change the industry and do awesome things. Damn, 15 diameter. That's such a big pool. To be on stage, I guess that's what's blowing my mind. 15 it's not that big of a pool. Like if it's in your backyard, you're just like, "Oh, let's go sit in the pool." But on a stage, anyway. So you come here, and that was the agreement for us to you, is to get you ready to go out there and do awesome things. Then the other half of that, aside from you paying the university to take the classes, there is that exchange. But the part of it that is the metaphysical, the non monetary, is the attitude of the discussions, the growing and the learning that we do while you're at the university, while you're there, and us going, wow, this person did this really great thing. We should definitely adjust gears so we can do it that way too. Or, wow, this process isn't working, and this person was very, very clear and open with us about how it could be better. Can we please implement that next year? And then it's the back and forth of not this year, but next year. And just the back and forth. But all of you make the department better. And sometimes it happens while you're there. Sometimes it happens in front of your eyes. Um, a lot of students now are seeing it where um, I was able to work with a fantastic student who helped me realize that the sound crew going downstairs to mic people makes no sense at all. There is no room. We are always in the way, and it's not accessible to everyone. So now, sound crew mics everybody upstairs at a very specific table up center in the shop. Now it allows them to have a go-to place, and they don't have to go up and down stairs. They don't have to run around and try to find a sound person. They just have the table up center ready to go for any mic taping, any pack swaps. And that was because I had a fantastic conversation with a student about accessibility. And they were just like, I really want to do this, but I fear that I won't be able to. And I was like, how can we fix that? And within the course of one sound crew, I was able, as a sound designer and engineer for that show, I was able to change the game and be like, this is how we're doing it now. And now we're doing this show right now, Alice by Heart, and being able to watch them set up the table, put all the mic packs up, get all the little trays. Shout out Bard for all of those receiver boxes. But being able to have them all set out their stuff and know what they need to do next, and all the people know where to go, and it wasn't this big learning experience, I was like, oh, this is the new standard now. And that student that worked on that crew is now the ASM for this show and gets to watch the thing that they helped me build happen like clockwork. Like, I can't explain to you how awesome it is to watch that change happen in real time and see a student notice I helped build that. And I think honestly, a couple of, like, both of you had similar experiences happen while you were here, and it's just the varying degrees of implementation and the varying degrees of change may not have been super noticeable at the time, but I think you both know things that now exist in the space that did not before in some capacity, whether it's process or product, because of you. And that's super, super important. Um, but yeah, and I mean, I talk about other students all the time about like the tech tables, and the amazing human who built those for us allowed us to have the building blocks to make tech tables now that are so convenient, so easy to use. And now we have 8 of them out in the house. We used to only have 3, maybe 2. And now we have 8 of them out in the house. Had too much. See, yes, exactly. So many 3D printed great ideas because of conversations. And um implementing printer networks and remote nets, and I mean, getting the cables pulled, Eric, unofficially, officially. Like, all of that stuff happened while you were there that now are drastically benefiting the students who are now there getting their degrees. I'm switching coffee mugs because that one is cold and this one is hot. It did such a great job. But yeah, also, I wanted to show this because we're in the stupid mouse. What is happening? Fine, I'll switch. For anybody who have Macs and use universal control, it's only as great as it feels like it that day. Um, Currently we don't have a summer show, and I'm not sure if there's a plan to do one because they aren't very profitable. but a teaser of the show that we're currently working on. I think this looks super, super cool. Oh, instead of doing that, let's go. I think I can go to this screen. Oh no, I gotta go to screen content. Where's it? I'm gonna screw this up. Image. Oh, well, yeah, we'll just call it image. That's fine. And we'll go to photos. Boop, boop. And we need to make sure it's not on top of everything. There we go. Did I do it? No. Oh, that's why it's not working. Transform, copy transform. Paste transform. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. Okay, what is happening? Anyway, here's the image. It is, again, very, very simple. It's just a singular light, but I thought it looked pretty cool, which is why I took the photo. But also, let's get another one. This is also something that we're utilizing for this show, which I'm really excited about. These vents are going to have, why does it keep adjusting? I wonder if the image quality is just, So these are going to have this light coming out, but we're also using our brand new fogger for this show, and they're going to come out of these vents. Very, very excited. Do you both have an opportunity to come see this? Because I am very excited for people to come and enjoy this show. And then this is one of my favorite little things that we did for this show, is that we're doing a little bit of an immersive experience as you walk in. So as you walk into the house, we have these signs on either side, which I'm super, super pumped about. Boo! That's what you get for working shows. How dare you? Working and like making careers for yourselves. It is in a pool. That's a really good point. Are you mixing in the pool? Are you mixing in the pool? Because if you're not mixing in the pool, don't talk to me. If you're just mixing in a booth behind a board, what the hell is that about? Also, I just realized how intense this looks, and I'm so sorry. But yeah, so you are mixing a pool though. Okay. Okay. Well, that's like 20% the same thing. It counts. But yeah. So the area mix. Got it. Okay. You're in the area. That show could be if there was more people on the production team and one person didn't have 7 jobs. Uh, are you talking to Bart or me about my show or their show? Either or. Uh-huh. But but yeah. Yeah. So here's another thing, and this is just me. I'm going to be very nondescript because I think it's more important for me to vent my frustrations than actually bitch and complain about individuals because I don't think that's as productive. Um, Getting feelings out always helps. Um, so for this production, I was going to be just the technical director. We had a very unfortunate situation where the props designer could not be a part of the production anymore, so I had to step in and do so. Not that big of a deal. Luckily, they did a lot of legwork, and I was just carrying the torch. So that felt very much like I got this. It's okay. It just took me a while to get into the headspace to be able to do it, but we're okay now. We figured it out. Um, but on top of that, trying to figure things out, we realized that um, we had some people who were going to be very distracted at the same time as we were starting tech because of other projects that they signed up for a long time ago. So, like, it's stuff that they knew was going to conflict, but now we're at that end of okay, now it's directly a problem for us. Um, but also just miscommunication of certain things that put us in a bind where people just didn't know who to talk to about things. Um, Not that they couldn't, it's just they went to the person they thought, and that person was uh, not able to do that thing for them, not able to assist the way that they needed. So a lot of that came to me, which I am always um ghost disappeared for the last bit of QDQ. Oh, yeah, so that was a little bit different, and I'm not really holding it against the ghost, because I understand what that situation is like and what you can and can't do. So, it's unfortunate, but that is one of those situations where, of all the things that happened, that's not the one that really, like, put my hands down in frustration. Um, but the other things that are going on was very much just, like, a lot of it was like, "Dustin will handle it." Which, yes, I can. I am fully capable of doing so, but I think with the weight of what I'm feeling this week, I realized, but I shouldn't have to. So it was a lot of like, yes, I can handle this for you. I can do this. I have in the past, but I'm not sure I should have to. So that has been a very interesting little balance of trying to be like, yes, I can switch all these hats. I'm fully capable of doing it, but your boy needs to relax. Your boy needs to, yeah. So, I think this is no offense to anyone. I think that people just need to check on those around them as well as themselves. Because I know life can get very stressful for the individual, but when the community around you is also feeling it, it can be very, very difficult, very, very difficult to feel productive and to feel helpful and to feel supportive. So, um, yeah. So I think I want to play a little bit of Minecraft. Is that okay? Because I haven't really been able to. I've done a lot of like theory in my head and a lot of thinking, but I want to show you all some of the work that I've done in my creative world because I'm just about ready to start building in survival. I'm going to have to do a lot of resource gathering in survival, which is definitely kind of a turnoff for me right now. But um, I want to show you all the work that I've done, and maybe tweak one of the systems today because I realized that it's not going to work exactly like I wanted to because uh, of the limitations of the system that I'm trying to do. So, um, I'd love to jump in, show that to you all, and then we can um, get to a little bit of like normal when it comes to um, Dustin streams. And we can play a little bit of Minecraft. Okay, so I'm already down here. So let's actually uh so I think you all have seen this already, but this is what the hotel is gonna look like. Very, very excited about it. Actually we're gonna just we'll go in the free cam because it'll be easier to show it off. But yeah, this is what the hotel's gonna look like. Very, very excited about it. You can see the multiple floors, but the entryway is going to be here, and you're going to do like your picking of your level. I think I'm going to call it valet, where you check your car, but you're giving your stuff away and doing all that stuff. You turn in your keys, which are going to be your tokens, and all the buffs and stuff that you have for the game. And then you're going to enter into this, and this will be the first floor, which will open up so that way you can enjoy the first level, which will be the actual hotel themed floor. And I have where is it? I'm gonna pause this so that way we can do this, and I hope I don't get copyright struck. If I do, oops, but let's just show this so that way you can kind of understand what we're looking at. But oh, I screwed up. Hold on.
Hello there.
Lauren, aka General Kenobi. I just realized that my voice mod is set to a different speaker. Okay, ready? For real this time. Anybody know that sound? Now, and stop. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to use that. So, oops. I might compose. I also am Bard. I may use your services later. I want to do a full-fledged sound design with this thing. I do not want to skimp on sound. I don't want to just find a bunch of random things that says, that's close enough. I want to do an actual sound design for this thing because, and I'll show you all, I have a lot of potential for sound upstairs. I'm really, really excited. So yeah, you walk in and you'll be on the first floor. You'll have to accomplish certain tasks while you're here. Like grab certain things and maybe a side quest and blah, 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 and stuff like that. But then you head into the elevator. Let's get our current key, which is not what it's going to be in the final, but I do like the idea of whatever you're holding is giving off light because I think that's pretty cool. So maybe, but you go into the elevator and then you use the key. The only problem right now is that to use the key and go up a floor, the system has to be on. I did that on purpose. So like if I go in here and drop a thing, nothing happens. The system has to be on for the elevator to work. But yeah, you go from floor to floor, very similar. Side quests, treasure being dropped, traps getting triggered, that sort of stuff. So that is all pretty straightforward, very similar to what I did with the Labyrinth. Much grander scale, but also, how you doing, Lauren? You chimed in with hello there, and I wanted to check in on you. So going down here, we have the online, offline, or sorry, start and stop line. Different. So this starts the game in systems. This stops the game in systems. I have my temporary start and stops here. The elevator here in the middle, and then a bunch of different wool and glass going up for the different systems. Over here, we have our token distribution system. This is something actually I want to try to tweak today if I can while I'm on stream, just so that way it can be done. But I realized that this system isn't very productive in the realm of it only works to this button. Once you get over here, the system doesn't function as it's supposed to, so I got to fix it. But well, you know, but yes, caffeinate, please. It is very important. Also, I hate that I'm a right-handed drinker of coffee because then I can't show my logo. So we might fix this system today because it runs up. And I have room for the other half of it. I just got to make some adjustments so that way there's actual space for it. So yeah, when you head up here, you'll see that on every side we have different colors of things. I'm happy to see you in chat. It's been a minute. We should hang out. But I'm also realizing that some of this is not correct. So all of this system is laid out. Oh, wow. Yeah, some of this is just off. I'm curious about why. Huh. Yeah, it just seems to be from here. There we go. So all those should be good now. So, these different systems I'll go over when I get to the top. But each of these need a new mug design that's the same on both sides. I thought about that, but here's the problem. This by itself, and selling to you all, I make like $1.50. If I kept the price the same and put it on the other side, I'd make 25 cents. So again, I'm not really in the market for making money. But when it comes to merch, it's one of the only things that I have. So so I did think about just making it like a little bit more and then I can make a little bit more, but I don't know. I feel like passing that off to you seems disingenuous. Yes, capitalism, it's the problem. So, all these systems go up the elevator until we get to the top. I am a righty. So you hear all these noises already happening, but yeah, up here is the sound system. And based on what floor you're on, it's different music for different floors. And this box right here shifts and starts playing different music based on what floor you're on. So yeah, and then all of these are just note blocks that when an event is triggered or an action is triggered, it gives a sound. I think the only ones that don't come up here are the treasure line and the hazard line. Regardless, I'm still trying to figure out some of this stuff and what lines need to be where and what's triggering what and all that stuff. But all of these right here are just ambient sound note blocks, and I'll put a head. Yeah, you see how that one's just crickets right now? That is if a card is triggered or a token is triggered in the system. So over here, I just finished building this a little while ago. This is the treasure distribution system. So as the system turns off, because it doesn't need an on signal because of the way that the system functions, it just is a timer. So the off is making sure it doesn't continue because of the way that hopper clocks work. But this just periodically, I think it's so 16 times 5. 16 times 5
5 is 80.
times 0.4.
0.4 is 32.
So 32 seconds as of right now that treasure is distributed into the system. Oh, it does need an on signal. Oops. I just haven't run it over here because I just haven't. I don't know why. Let's do that real quick. Cool. So now this will push down. But this whole system right here is that it pulls out snowballs to make treasure go faster. Because I think that would be a really cool thing that you can like buy as a buff, is that treasure drops faster. And then over here is our hazard system. Is this connected? Is our hazard system. So this is almost identical to what you saw over there. But what it's doing is it's allowing the hazard to be triggered, and the hazard can go faster based on certain events. So that way more doors and traps and stuff happen through the course of the game. These are the token processors. This is just the different tokens that you can get in the system that allow you to do certain things. So I only have the luck and evade turned up because luck triggers the treasure system. Once it's played, it triggers it like that. But the evade one skips hazard. So that way it pushes this block out of the way. So that way when hazard triggers, the next hazard is skipped. And then you'll see all of these because I was doing some testing. None of these currently work because I am a silly Billy. But I need to make this happen. There's also 2 extra cards on this system, or tokens, and I need to get rid of them because we don't need them. But the way that I'm going to have to adjust the system is I think I have to shift the treasure system over to here, and I need to make a separate card processor over here. I don't know if I'm going to get to that on stream, but it's something that's worth trying out. But this is using the signal length processing. So you see it's 1 wire. And then it's processed through these systems to distribute it where it needs to, which is pretty cool. But let's go over the colors now because I mentioned them before, and let's talk about them. So we have the start pulse and the stop pulse, which was downstairs. We have the on signal and the off signal. On signal isn't labeled over here because of what I had to do with the torches to turn the sound on, so it's labeled up there. So over here we have the treasure pulse, treasure line, which is gray. We have the quest pulse, which is cyan. We have the elevator plus and minus, and honestly, all of the elevator lines are yellow. I'm debating on making because there's really 2 elevator systems. There's the elevator itself going up and down, and then there's the elevator triggering which floor you're on with the systems, so that way the systems only trigger things on the floor that you're on. I'm debating if that should be a different color or not for organization purposes, because there's all this yellow that gets up here and distributes here, but all the rest of the yellow down on that side and wrapping around is a completely different system, technically. Blue is side quest pulse, and light blue is success. So this sends down a side quest pulse to the floor that you're on, and it will always trigger on that floor. A lot of these others are chance triggers, which means they only trigger something, or they only trigger if something actually occurs. If a hazard actually occurs, a treasure is actually dropped, that is when something will go off. But the side quest pulse, if that triggers on your floor, it will create a side quest. And side quests, I'm still trying to figure out the buff and the what you call it, or the fault of what it means to succeed or fail at a side quest. But again, we'll figure that out. And then, like I mentioned before, purple is the hazard pulse. So this is the system in place to allow me to close certain paths to get somewhere, or open up a pit that you have to jump across, or drop a wall that allows a mob to maybe shoot arrows at you or something like that. That's what that system's for. And again, it's all going to be randomized down below. So if it triggers hazard, goes down to the floor that you're on, and then distributes everywhere, there's I think I'm going to do like almost a 10%, maybe a little bit higher chance that it doesn't do anything. And that it or sorry, a 10% chance that it does anything. Otherwise it sends that trigger down and it might not do anything on your floor. But then as hazard gets faster and as hazard does what it's supposed to do, even though the chance is 10%, if you trigger it 10 times, eventually it's going to stick. So the card processor is the thing I wanted to touch and work on today. So this system right now, only half of it actually works. So what I'm going to do is what you see over here, I'm going to repeat over here and just mirror it. So that way I can send up 2 lines and just have card processors for the different systems upstairs. So instead of this line being just one continuous line for both sides, I'm going to make it 2 separate ones for ease of use and process. Come on. So yeah, basically what this system does, to kind of explain process, because I like teaching, is that this system allows you to send a pulse of a certain length, because there's 2 ways to read redstone. There's strength and there's length. So if the signal strength is like 15 or 8 or something like that, you can read it that way. Or based on the length of it, so how many ticks does it last, you can read it that way. So I am doing a what you call it method. I am doing a length processing. So, come on. There we go. So what it's doing is it's processing the length of the signal. So that way I can decode it up top and being like, oh, this is, like if you look over here, this is a 1 tick pulse. And then upstairs, when it reads a 1 tick pulse, it knows turn this signal on. But if it reads a 2 tick pulse, it's just like, no, do the 2 tick one. And it processes properly so that way it degrades when it gets upstairs. So this one is adding length and upstairs retracts length. So increment, decrement. By the time it gets upstairs, the length would have been very specific. And I can carry this as far as I need as long as the redstone is rendered in. So that way I can send a signal to basically anywhere, which is fantastic. So if I remember correctly, it's a comparator.
Hello there.
General Kenobi! AKA Kife. How are you, my friend? I also, for anybody wondering, installed a mod onto my client that allows me to stop scrolling on my hotbar so it doesn't loop around. So I can do scroll all the way forward and it stops, and all the way backward and it stops. And it's been so convenient. So yeah, I am going to build this exact same thing. I'm going to build right next to it. But the big issue that I'm realizing is that I put these signal boosters in a place where I can't do one right next to it. So I'm going to have to adjust. Then remove the Twitch app. What? Doing all right. Just trying to wrap my head around your redstone contraption. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this thing. So do not feel like I am no smarter than anyone. I work on this system to the best of my ability. So I think what I'm going to do for this line is I'm going to do I think because you see how this is right here, I think I might push it because I need room for it to extend the life of its signal. And I think I just need to adjust where these are, and this system will work just fine. So I think I need to make this line be over here, all the way in the corner. So let's duplicate this tower using a thing called World Edit. It allows me to copy and paste things in the system with relative ease. So we'll copy this into the corner over here. So we'll do that. And I'm going to do copy and go all the way into the corner. And I can do paste. And then it adds it in for me. So now there is a big old glass tower in this corner too. Now, as I go down, I need to double check a few things. One, if this gets powered, is it going to power that? Which I don't think is going to matter because I'll just do this. And the system can continue with no interruption. And it won't trigger anything next to it. And I got to do that for any of those things that I see. And then we got to add Come on. Then we got to add the extension lines so the system can get all the way up here, because those of you who don't know with redstone, a certain level of repeating, which is funny because it uses a thing called a repeater, is always necessary with systems like these. So we try our best to make sure that that signal is repeated properly. So I should have this exact same system, but over here, which I do. And I'm going to get this over to this line, and we're going to do the exact same thing on this one that we have over there. So we have to do boop, boop. Right, oh, I did need that one. And then there, and I think that's it. There we go. Okay. So we'll need a repeater here. And I think just a bunch of dust everywhere else. There we go. So now both of these systems can head upstairs, but I need to repeat the system as I go up, so that way it can actually make it up there, because right now it cannot. So what we'll do is, I think, alternate and do like this system that you see here. We'll do one just below it, and then we'll repeat as we go up. So I think we'll do here, 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 because those won't interfere with each other. Heater, and wait a sec. That will interfere, so I have to drop this down to there, because then that can go away. How many of you, just by a show of hands, have actually tried redstone? Sorry, I got a message. Awesome. You have. Okay. And I see Lauren's message. It's a challenge. Like, full disclosure, like I am not an expert. I would in like any sense of the word, I do not believe that I am somebody that could confidently say I know what I'm doing. I think the only thing that I could say about redstone with any confidence is that kind of makes sense to me. ... Uh I know that's not like the confidence is not there. But I think redstone has humbled me in regards to what I think my brain can compute. Complicated things I have ever made is a vending machine. See, that is pretty sick. Like, that is pretty awesome. Can't go in any other direction. I had this problem up there too. So if I how am I going to do this? Because redstone here is going to power that line, and I can't have that happen. Do I drop this down one? I think that might be what I do. That way, no. That way I can do this and keep the redstone going. And then I can, I think I can do this and it won't power that. See, now I'm doubting myself. Great. Okay, so let's throw a torch onto this. Yep, it powers it. Farts! Yeah, and again, like that's it's really important note to make is that this was made by a bunch of computer nerds. I think we have to do this. We have to do this down here. Which means this is going to look so ugly on its way up, but luckily I can do this here though. But this one will look nice. Yeah, I wanted to do as much uniformity as possible because I think it's important for tracking stuff. But okay, let's double check that this signal actually can make it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Dang it, I need one more right here. Which means this one doesn't need to be here. Yeah, for those who are curious, all I'm doing right now is continuing this signal upwards. So 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. And I have to do it again. Dang it. Okay, so this one was... Got it. Which makes perfect sense. Oh, I can't do it there. Do it there, though. Right? Nope. Nope, can't do it there. Gotta do it here. Ah, this is so annoying. So why this is annoying is that the system's not going to be uniform. So if I find an issue, I'm going to have to dig. And I don't enjoy doing that when it comes to redstone. I just want it to work. Okay, so 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So right there. Where do I gotta add the next one? So 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Hey, I made it to the top. Okay, so I think I should be able to come off this way. So that is something that I can work on. Uh yeah, because this whole system now is so fun. I don't think, okay, there's a repeater there, which means I can just I can do this. That way it still triggers the same thing up top. So I don't have to bring it up and over. I can just go right across. Okay, so my thought for the new card processors. Is that I think this line that I already have, I'm gonna have to flip it. Because it can't either flip it or yeah, I'm gonna have to flip it. So that way all the redstone goes in the other direction. Because then this line over here can just go over to this one. So basically the whole thing needs to be flipped. Which I think I can do pretty easily. Also, right now I have the system doing 6 and 6. And just 12 tokens that they can ever submit. But it'd be relatively easy to add another set of tokens. I would just have to put it somewhere way different than where it currently is. So that is a thing for future, Dustin. But for now, we'll only have 12 processors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's rid of this stuff. So that is the end of this processing line. So if I flip everything in that direction, I think I can go there. There. And then flip east. Copy. Paste. Don't break. Oh, did I have to copy it first? Flip east. Paste. Why didn't that work? Oh no! Undo. Oh no. That was almost terrible. So if I flipped it, then that means it now goes that direction. From the end of that. Okay, so I think I should be able to do... I think that worked. Kind of. Yeah, because now it processes in this direction. I have to adjust some things, but I think it's going to work. Okay, so now that is flipped. I think... I think I need to scoot this whole thing over now. I think. Oh, yeah, I can scoot the whole thing over. So I don't need any of this anymore. Because now this is the end of the line. I just need to scoot all of these over. So we'll go... here to there, and we'll do so how much would it take to get this to line up with that? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll do copy 1, 2, 3, paste. How much did that screw up stuff? Oh, I forgot these didn't move. Dang it. So forgot about these fun little things. Because these stop the comparator from functioning when necessary. I think that's enough room in between. I don't think I need to bring it any further in any other direction. I need to fix all of this other, like... None of this works anymore. Which is not a huge deal. It was definite... I wouldn't say temporary, but it was definitely... me trying something out and not working. I mean, functioning as I needed it to, but definitely not the OG thing. So, okay. So this line... oh, does it need to move over even further? I think it needs to move over even further. I think I need to move it over one more. Because for this to function properly... And this won't activate this, but it will activate this. So I think I have to do... we'll do I'll do glass here, because this is tall enough for everything. And then... Nope. Okay. So do copy, and then scoot up one, and paste. Boop. Now the whole thing moved, including the air blocks, which is what we needed. So now that doesn't touch anything. Beautiful. I will say that's not right. Why is there redstone? How did that get screwed up? Oh, is this just extra? Did I just move that and I didn't need to? It looks like that's what happened. Dang it. Undo. Okay, so let's fix this. So this doesn't matter anymore. This does. I think there's enough room there, but I need to scoot this over, I think, by 2. Also, 2 seconds, I gotta run away. Sorry about that. I had to use the little boy's room. Yeah, if this scoots over 1, copy, paste. Oop. So now this will be the system. I failed. Man, creative is wild. The fact that I can do all this running around. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now this system is hooked up. And this system is currently powered because of that torch. Oh no! Dang it. So what happened there is that torch, it was powering that line because it was too close. So now that won't happen anymore. And I think we were good where we were this whole time, which is upsetting, but understandable. So now this line will function as normal. It'll decay like it's supposed to. This line will do the same thing. I do think I want to scoot this one back one, just so that way they all line up with each other. Also, this is the one that has the extra, isn't it? No, this only has 6. You know what? No, I don't want them to line up. I lied. There, 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 and there. Cool. So now these two systems should function separately but together. So now they will do everything that I need them to moving forward. I do have to add... So this is 6 and 6. So we can process 12 cards. If I really wanted to, I could scoot this thing down and make it all line up. Dang it, I do. Dang it. So let's do that. And that. I want to scoot it over 1. Let's double check that all the redstone... Yeah, for those who don't know, when you use World Edit, sometimes the redstone changes state when it's alone. But I fixed it. So now it's every other... Ooh, this is clean. This is clean. This is clean. I love this so much. Okay. Awesome. So to test this, though, I want to go downstairs and hit some buttons, and then I'm going to fly up here and make sure that things are on the way they're supposed to. So we're going to swap out these note blocks for the bulb. And put buttons on top so I can reset them when I get up here. So people start sending me numbers 1 through 12. And I can push those buttons downstairs, and then we can make sure that they're working up here. So I believe that's 1 through 6, and then this is 7 through 12. Six, 8, 3, 5, 4. Okay, I'm gonna do those. I'm just gonna do the evens. Let's do even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm gonna go in the free cam and see if all of the evens are currently lit up, and I did this right. I didn't do it right. Oh, because... Oh, interesting. None of these repeaters are there. So that's not great. Well, not none of them. But it doesn't look like the signal made it all the way up. I am still staring at that button. Yeah, so let's see what happens just when I push button 12. See if the signal even makes it up here. Oh, it lit up both sides. Why did it light up both sides? Okay, the signal is crossing somewhere. Oh, right there. Oops. I'm silly. So remember when I said, oh, we don't have to do anything complicated. We could just put glass down here. I was wrong. That repeater that's all the way up there is not happy with us. So I think it's this piece of glass that's the problem. Uh, that one. So we'll keep this, but now okay. So I think what needs to happen is this here. No. Here. Because I want both lines to still function. So if I do can I jump over? I think I can do. I am sorry if any of you are dazed and confused about what I'm doing right now because I'm trying to figure it out. So if this hits here, it'll light up that and continue upwards, which I think is what I want. So let's turn off that. We'll head back downstairs and see if these buttons. We'll go back to 12. And we'll see if this button makes it all the way up. So this button should light up the last one. Or no, the first one over here. Oh, I need a repeater. God dang it. Well, let's see if 6 works. So this should be the one that's closest to the left in the first row. This one should be this one right here. Okay, the signal dies somewhere. So that one's 6. Oh, there's also all those missing repeaters I didn't fix yet. Ah, redstone on camera. Isn't this fun? Okay, so we need that. Okay. Interesting. Let's add the repeater over here because I am silly goose. Is the end result. Yeah, I would say I agree with that. Let's double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So this is all the same as it ever was. Why did it stop here? So 1 tick. Pardon me. Okay, so in theory, we'll go to 3. This should do the third one in from the right in this first row. But it looks like either my decoding is off, and it always does the first one, no matter what button I push. Which makes me think that something's up with this system. I wonder if it's the... Jamie! But I'm wondering if it's the, Hmm. Why aren't you pushing down? Temporary. Why isn't this counter counting? Oh. There we go. Okay, so the crickets went off then. I wonder if the button is just too long and that I shouldn't be using buttons. I think that might be it. That these buttons don't do anything. And I shouldn't use them. I think that honestly might be it. Because it's held for so long. I don't even know which one that triggered. Dang it. Well, it was the first one first, and that may have been a complete fluke. Let's see. Yeah, that one shut off again. Honestly, that's probably the biggest problem with this, is that I really should be working with somebody else, because this system is just Far too complicated. Okay, that was definitely a different one. That was not the first one. So if the first one... Enjoy the show. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, it's... Yeah, this is not functioning. Should shoot out another one any second. There it is. Okay, it turned it off. So let's look at this system as a whole. So it comes up here. That was the second one. Comparator in subtract mode. It goes up here, up, no delay in the repeater. No delay in the repeater. Nothing. 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 I think it's only ever lighting up the first one, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, why isn't it continuing down the line? What did I screw up? Is it too many repeaters? It doesn't make any sense, though. The only thing I can think of is that this system has a flaw in how it's processing this signal. Well, and here's the other thing, right? The button was working. So that should be the second light in the back row. It's always the first light. Okay, I screwed something up. Because it's always the first light in the line. Well, now's the fun part. I get to go back to the video I was watching to help with this system to see what I did wrong. I also know that I have to get going soon, so we can only work on this a little bit longer. Also, it's Maizuma Games, or Maizuma, Maizuma. Cannot recommend their stuff more. They are very, very good at what they do. Also, ad break in less than a minute.
This is a very simple pulse length encoder, and this is connected to a device. Then it will become 2 here, and it will become 1 here. And the 1 tick pulse will not activate the comparator, so it won't be able to lock the repeater here. So the output will work because the repeater can read 1 tick pulses. And because this is too short, it will not be able to activate the next unit. So as soon as the signal finds its destination, it will never propagate further, which is good for performance. This is a very simple pulse
Sounds good,
length
my
encoder,
friend.
and this is connected to a device back there using a single wire back here. So this device can be able to activate the next unit. So as soon as the signal finds its destination, it will never propagate further.
So that's a really good point. I am wondering if I just need to replace comparators. Okay, look up while you're flying. Because I think what might be happening is that the comparator doesn't know it's in subtract mode. Okay, still the first one. So this one is instantaneous. That one has a delay. So how did I screw this up? The system is identical to the way it was. I flipped it basically. Um uh, I'm gonna get sneaky with it. I should be able to open up with my camera account. I should be able to open up another instance of 1.21. And hey, it worked. Awesome. So now I should be able to actually I need to be down below, don't I? The camera account can be down below and I can push buttons. Uh, video settings. All right, I have the camera account over to the side and I put brightness all the way up. But it's just not give oh wait, effect, give night vision Infinite. There we go. Okay. So now I should be able to, with this account, push buttons down below and then watch it over here. So, how do I change that? Where the game doesn't pause when I navigate away from it. Does anybody remember? There's a way to do it, and I can't remember. Because I want to jump over to here, but it's always gonna pause. Dang it. Maybe I get it so that way I can see all of them, and it's okay if I'm paused. Okay, so if I go over here and press, this should be button 7. This is 8. It just turns that one back off. Okay. Yeah, does anybody remember how to turn that off so that way when I navigate away it doesn't pause the screen? There's a way to do it. Yeah, I don't remember. There is a way to do it though, where if I navigate away from the screen it doesn't pause. I can't remember what it is. Okay, so if it's always doing the same thing on both sides, then I did something wrong in general. I do. It was a cold night. I was home with Chandler. It was a whole thing. So it turns off the torch long enough to hit this. But it seems like now there's never enough signal to propagate it further away. So let's go look at my camera account. Look at him, just staring. The weird looking dude. Anyway, so no matter what, the signal just is not propagating the way it should. So let me look at the video again. So it's 1, 2, 3, which is correct. 1, 2, 3, and I do the same thing over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's about as far as I can go. So like if I push this button, that's just a 1 tick. If I go here, this should be a 6 tick. Yeah, it is longer. It's just getting shunted by something and turned back into a single pulse. What is doing that? Does it have to? Is that what it is? Does it have to stop at 15 or it doesn't work? Ugh. This is annoying. This is so annoying. But I think this is something I have to solve off camera. No. Yeah, it's just not carrying the signal. It's always coming up as a 1 tick signal. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I screwed up. Because this line didn't change at all. This other one, nothing changed on this end. But it's always triggering this same first one every single time. No matter what gets dropped, it always triggers that one. What's supposed to happen to kind of show you all? This line comes in and it's a specific length. It comes into the comparator and doesn't change anything about it, and goes into this block, which this repeater can read, but it takes 3 seconds before, or 3 seconds, 3 ticks before it exits. So if the signal, once going through the comparator, right, it needs to go through the comparator. And now I'm through a comparator to turn off the torch and then go around. Yeah. So if it's always 1, it means it never makes it to the other or through to turn off the torch long enough for this to even do anything. Yeah, so if we watch this real quick. Yeah, I'm going to have to think offline because this is just not working. But yes, I will figure that out, and if you're curious, I will what you call it? Uh I will try to let people know how that ended up in the Discord. So otherwise, yeah. So um thank you again to everyone who stopped by, everyone who chatted with me about Chandler and how amazing she was. Um I'm trying my best. That's what I'm doing. Um, but yes, and thank you so much for the resubscribes. Um, and I'm hoping that this, I don't have much more work to do, that I can start actually building, well, resource gathering than building in survival. So, fun little system. Super excited to see how it works. But like, the hazard system is done, the treasure system is done. I just got to put things where they belong on the floors. But like, the system and how it's going to work is done. It's the token system I still need to figure out, and the processing for it. Oh, I forgot I had that turned on. And then the quest system I still have to figure out. And then the side quest. So I know how the side quests are basically going to work. I just have to make the timer system. So basically what's going to happen is anytime they get onto a floor, if they stick around long enough, a side quest will pop up. And if you do that side quest, you can get a certain benefit. But if you just want to get in, grab the key, get out of the floor, which I realized I probably am going to have to create a key system that a key gets distributed via treasure or something else when you're on the floor, because them running around to go find a key and always knowing where it is, not super helpful. So I think I'm just going to have to put it in the treasure drops so that way they can find those keys and get to the next floor. But if you stick around long enough and you do a side quest, you can get more treasure out of it, which in turn gets you a key faster. So I'm hoping that that works in that capacity. But again, thank you all so much for being here, talking about Chandler, reminiscing a little bit. I'm going to do it a lot. But it really, truly makes me so happy that she did have the impact that she had, and that any of you can relate to that, and that any of you had met her. She was incredible. She is incredible. And we'll definitely be talking about her more in the future. But yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you so damn much. Design and Conquer, my friends. I'll see you at the next one. Have a great rest of your Sunday, an even better start to your week. I love you all.